What is the economic forecast in Austin for 2022? Well, I'm going to go over that in just a second. But first, if you are viewing this on YouTube, do me a favor, like, subscribe. If you have any comments on what I'm saying, questions that you want me to dig further into, or opinions on what the economy is going to do, I would love to hear from you. On Thursday, I went to the HBA Home Builders Association economic forecast, and it's always a good one. I've got a link in the comment section to a blog that we just released that has a lot more information than I'm going to cover right now. But first, the first speaker was Scott Turner with Riverside Homes. He says it's the reason we're taking longer, we're taking twice as long to build a new home as we did in the past is one, we all know about the supply chain issues, but also there's been a labor shortage as well, and that's across the nation. The median home in Austin buys you about a $340,000. The median home in Austin buys you about a $340,000 home. That's right. The median home in Austin is around $536,000. So unless someone is selling a home and taking the equity they had and buying it into transferring it into a new home, they're not going to be able to buy a home in Austin. The closest price point to that is Bastrop at this time. West Campus in Austin is the only place in Austin that has density. We've talked about density forever. It's been an issue forever. It's still an issue forever. It's the only place in Austin where zoning changes have been made, which makes a lot of sense because the people that live there are college kids and they don't vote, right? The area immediately around downtown, within like 2 miles of downtown, has about 200,000 people that work there. It's the third most populous downtown area in all of America as far as people that are working there. The record for building permits in Austin before 2019 was in 1983. In 1984, the code changed and made it harder to build. So we just broke the amount of new builds in Austin, the record for that, in 2019. But the code really needs to be addressed. The next speaker that we saw was Mark Roberts. He's the director of research at SMU. He stated, as far as wages are concerned, we're growing at wages are growing almost 5% in the last couple of years. That's compared to an average of about 2.5%. As more people are spending goods, there are less goods in the warehouse, which leads to business investments. Households are in great shape in terms of savings. They have higher savings now and lower debt, and the cost of debt service is much lower than it's been in previous years. States where people are moving to, Florida and Texas, all the way. People moving to Austin are mostly moving from the states of California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, and Minnesota. Lower taxes, cost of living, lower income taxes, retail sales taxes, all this drives people to Texas and in turn Austin. Austin has the third lowest unemployment rate in the US. In the pandemic, it shot up to about 12.2%. And now it's right at 4% in Central Texas. We're almost back to where we were, just a hair higher than we were when before the pandemic hit. Nationwide, we are undersupplied by about 2 million homes right now. The homeownership rate is dropping, not because people don't want a home or can't afford a home, it's because they can't get one. Inventory's low and prices are going up, so in some sense they're being priced out of the market. The third speaker was Eldon Rood. He stated that the credit reporting agency data shows that people are moving from California primarily to Texas and Florida. Once again, of those that are moving to Texas, they are moving to the 4 major metropolitan areas of Texas, which is Houston, DFW, Austin, and San Antonio. This was accelerated once the pandemic started. Reason why people are allowed to move or to work from home and be able to work from anywhere. So the cities where people are moving most from: Los Angeles, San Francisco, New York, Newark, Jersey City, San Jose, Washington, D.C., and Arlington. Some big announcements have driven the economy recently. Obviously, Tesla has a $1.1 billion investment. Samsung is a $17 billion investment in their semiconductor factory. Another company that is expected to move here, is going to be a big one, is Micron Computer, and it's expected to invest $46 billion investment. Now, this has not been announced, but I believe it's between us and one other city, and it's predicted that we'll get the win on that one. Our housing markets in Austin. In the last year, we built 35,000 units, 25,000 units of houses, and 10,000 of apartment units. Last year, we built 11,000 apartments units and absorbed 18,000 units that were rented. So vastly undersupplied on apartment units. Rents were up 27% in the last year. All these people want out of apartments and they want to rent because it's going so much higher. And when they buy a home, it's an investment for life. From 2012 to 2019, we had about 2 to 3 months worth of inventory supply. In May of 2020, the market took off, and now we have less than 1 month of supply and inventory. Interest rates in November 2020, they were as low as 2.6, and now in February 2021, they were at 3.9%. I think we're hovering right above 4 right now. I can tell you that interest rates usually slow down demand. It had virtually no effect on the market right now. And hope, they probably will go up, and will it impact some demand? Hopefully. There's too much demand, right? The distribution of sales going back to 2013 shows that 46% of sales were under 300,000. That was until 2019, where 14% were under 300,000. We had a 34% increase in value from November 2020 to November 2021. This will certainly and hopefully be a lower percentage in the next 12 months, and that's a good thing. I can tell you on a personal note, I'm not sure if it's going to be slower. I'm not sure if we would hope to have anywhere from 15 on the low side to 25% on the high side. I know I've been talking with Chris Jacob with the Housing Supply. He texted me last Friday or last Saturday that Williamson County had about 15% less homes than they did 1 year ago at this time. So we really need more supply, and hopefully that will come as these builders are starting to ramp up their building. The supply chain issues are going a little bit more smoother, and we're able to get more people in the labor market. So that's my economic forecast for this year, for 2022. Encourage you to listen to the Home Builders Association, sign up for any newsletters they have. There's a lot longer of a blog that goes further into this on my website, spyglassrealty.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll see it below in the description. If you're watching this on Facebook, it'll be in the first comment. So once again, if you're anywhere you're watching this or listening to it, please do me a favor, subscribe, like, put a comment on it. We really appreciate it. It helps us create more content. Have a great day.